welcome back to my channel. So first things first, I miss you guys so much. Like literally, I have missed filming so incredibly much. I did not realize how much I missed it until I sat down today and started filming, and I was like, hey, I really like doing this. So here I am. I'm filming today. Let's go ahead and get to what today's video is going to be about. I decided to film my everyday look. Like literally, ask anyone that knows me, I wear this look almost every single day of my life. I have just been like so into pink and peach and like burgundy. It just like speaks to me. It inspires me. I love it so much. I promise I will not just do pink tutorials. So yeah, I feel like this look is perfect for summer. So like kind of perfect timing that I've been wearing this look, and it's summer basically. It is June. I don't know when summer officially starts, but it is really pretty here in LA. So yeah. Oh, before I forget, if you want to keep up with me like on social media, I do post on there a lot more than on here. Obviously, I haven't posted on here in a hot minute, but I'm going to. Hold me to it. I am going to. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's just Brittany, BRITTY.BRUCE. If you're excited to have me back and watch a lot of my videos, definitely give me a thumbs up. It reassures me that you're here to watch me and that you love what I'm doing. And yeah, I just love sharing my passion for beauty with you guys and teaching you a little thing or two that I've learned along the way. I know makeup can be a little bit intimidating, but I'm just here to let you know that it's okay and you don't have to be perfect. It's just makeup. It's like painting a picture. Like it literally does not have to be perfect. As long as you feel like the most beautiful version of you, that's literally all that matters. And at the end of the day, I'm here to make y'all feel amazing. I'm not here to change you in any way. I just want you to feel beautiful. So definitely stay tuned for the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah. Bye guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So first I'm going to pull my hair back just because you never want your hair falling in your face when you're doing your makeup. Okay, so to prep my skin, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Cosmetics Prep Hydrate Balm. This is so amazing. It feels so cooling and lightweight on the skin. And I skipped my moisturizer and just use this as a moisturizer and a primer. And then I use my fingers to kind of rub in any excess that didn't soak down into the skin. So now it's time to do a little bit of foundation. Recently, I've been really enjoying the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte and the e.l.f. Acne Fighting foundation mixed together. I just find that the e.l.f. one is a little too light and the L'Oreal one is a little too dark, so when I mix them together, it like makes my perfect shade. And of course, I'm going to go in with the Dampen Beauty Blender and just blend that all the way back to my hairline, all the way down the neck. You never want to see like your gap from your actual skin showing through. It just doesn't look flawless and completely natural. So now I'm going to go in with the Morphe Concealer in the shade Sand. I just recently picked this up from the Morphe store, and honestly, so far so good. I really can't complain too much. It was only $4.99, which is freaking amazing. The coverage is pretty good. The only downfall is the shade that I picked up isn't like perfect for me. It's a little too light, but we will go in with a little bit of bronzer and bronze the skin back up and look nice and evened out. So I basically use this under the eyes, down the bridge of the nose, and I have really bad darkness around my mouth, so I always take a little bit of concealer there, and then I go in with my beauty blender and just really make sure we blend all of that in. Since it is so light, you really want to take your time and make sure it's all blended. And since that concealer is a little bit more on the thick side, I have to immediately go in and set it. So I'm using the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette and a small Real Techniques brush. And I'm using the lightest shade from the palette just to press under the eyes to set it, and on top of the eyelid to set that as well, so that whenever we go over top with eyeshadow, it's just really nice and seamless. And then next, I'm going to take my it Cosmetics foundation. I think it's called the Celebration Foundation. Honestly, I'm just trying to use this up. I barely have any left, and I just really want to get through it so I can justify buying another powder. Okay, so now that the face is looking nice and flawless, I'm going to use the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia, Beverly Hills. This is my go-to. And first, we're going to be taking the second lightest shade in the palette and really focusing this as our transition shade. So basically, blending it all over the crease. It doesn't have to be perfect, just blending it in the crease. And then next, I'm going to go in with the shade Burnt Orange. We're going to take this a little bit lower than the previous shade, and this is just going to be our shade that's going to peek through the pink here later on. So you just want to take your time and really blend this, windshield wiper motions in the crease, and then you're going to take a completely clean brush and blend that out so that you don't have any harsh edges.
Okay, so now I'm going to take the shade Love Letter and I'm going to go into the outer V in the inner corner and place that shade and then connect it in the middle of the crease. And so you just basically want to keep going back and forth and blending the shade in to make sure it's super, super seamless. And like always, I will go in and blend out the edges with my just clean brush. And then taking the e.l.f. Cosmetics crease brush, once again, we're going to go back in with the same exact shade and just intensify the color a little bit. I never like to go in with a ton of color in the beginning because it just makes it really hard for you to blend out. So just take your time and build up the color gradually. Going back into the shade Burnt Orange, and on a smaller smudge brush, I'm going to take this right underneath the lower lash line. So this is kind of going to be our base shade before we lay down a darker shade underneath there, and this is going to give you that really blown out effect. And going back into the shade Love Letter in an angled liner brush, I'm going to take this really, really close to the lash line, as close as possible as you can get without going into the waterline, of course. And this is just going to give you that really dark and sultry look. And then you want to go back in and blend those two colors together so you don't have that harsh line. So now I'm going to go in with the Morphe Prep and Set Makeup Setting Spray, and I like to spray a little bit of this onto a flat concealer brush, and then I'm going to go in with the light pink shimmery shade in the palette, and the setting spray just basically intensifies the shimmery shades. It just makes them really pop, and I always do this just because it really makes it stand out against the matte shades that we previously used. And this Morphe setting spray, guys, is bomb.com. We're going to be using it in the end of the video, and it just makes your makeup last so freaking long. And sometimes whenever you go over your entire lid with the shimmery shades, you lose a little bit of the matte intensity in the outer and inner corners. So I just like to go in with the same brush we used earlier in the shade Love Letter, I think it was, and just intensify the very inner corner and the outer corner, and then you will see me kind of connect that in the middle just to make sure that that shimmery shade isn't too far in the crease, because you really just want it to be all over the lid. And then of course, blending is key. Literally, I said that in every single one of my videos, but when in doubt, if you are struggling with your eyeshadow, just blend the crease a little bit and the harshness will go away, and then you can kind of see what you're working with. And last but not least, we're going to take the lightest shade in the palette and highlight right underneath your brow bone to make it look nice and lifted. And I promise, brow tutorial coming soon. And here lately, I've been just taking a basic nude liner and popping that in the waterline. This just makes you look so wide and awake. And oh my goodness, lashes make such a big difference. I'll leave the ones I use down below. And next, we're going to do a little bit of contouring with the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. So using the lightest shade in the palette, I'm just going to create a really soft contour. I don't want to go in and contour too much just because this is like a everyday summer look. And on the reg, I don't usually contour like crazy. And basically, you just want to make sure you don't go too far in. Just keep it on the like outside perimeter of the face. And I'm also using it on the chin, on the jawline. I'll use a little on the nose. So this just creates a little bit of shadow. So next, what I like to do is take the e.l.f. Flawless Face Brush and a little bit of the middle shade. So this is a little bit warmer, whereas the first shade we used was a little bit cooler. And I basically like to take this and blend out the contour, take it down the neck, use it around the perimeter of the forehead. So this just really warms up the areas where I'm a little bit more pale. And I really like to use this on my forehead because it slims it down just a little bit because I have a little bit of a larger forehead. I'm going to go in with a little bit of the e.l.f. Cosmetics blush in Tickled Pink. And I really like this one because it's not too pigmented and it's not going to really compete with the eye look. So it's pretty natural, and I'm using one of their brushes, and y'all, their brushes are so good. I love them so much. Now going in with the e.l.f. Cosmetics Sculpting Face Brush and the Contour Palette by Kat Von D once again. We're going to use the lightest shade just to really sharpen up that contour and make everything pop. And then I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild highlighter in Precious Petals. Y'all, this one is so good. It's one of my favorites from the drugstore. It's so intense. You barely need any, and it gives you such a pop and highlight. The only complaint that I have is I'm so pale that it's a little bit too dark on me. I'm pretty sure it's hard to see in camera, but in person you can kind of see how it's a little bit more peachy than my skin tone, but that is totally fine because I will go in with a lighter, like highlighty shade here in a second, and it will all be swell and okay. With a completely clean brush, we're just going to wipe away any of the powder from where we sculpted out the contour. This is just going to make sure it's all nice and blended out, and then I'm going to go back in with the contour brush that we previously used just to make sure that those two lines are blended nicely together. And because more is more and I am super extra, I'm going to take that lighter shimmery shade from the palette and just place that on top of the Wet n Wild highlight. Just because, like I was saying, I wanted it to be a little bit lighter with this look. I thought the pinky tone highlight looked a little bit better. So now for some lip liner. I'm going to go in with this lip liner from the brand Beauty For Real. I honestly don't know what this shade name is, but it's just a really nice and like rosy pink shade. And I love lining my lips. I do overline them just slightly to create a little bit more volume. And lining the lips just makes putting liquid lipstick on so much easier. Like literally it makes it to where you don't have those wobbly lines. And now I'm going to go in with Jeffree Star's Liquid Lip in, I think it's called Androgyny. Yes, that's what it's called. And I'm basically just filling in the areas where we did not put the lip liner. And this liquid lipstick is really, really good. It lasts on me, honestly, basically like all day long. Usually after I eat, I do have to reapply it, but that's pretty normal for me. And of course, I'm just going to set everything into place with the Morphe Prep and Set Setting Spray. But that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys!